Greetings everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anime Attack. My name is Jimmy, and today we'll be talking about the one and only Naruto. Kagebunchi no Jutsu! I'm not making clones myself, I'm just not gonna do it. Let's just get started. Naruto is the anime that honestly got me into anime. Now, for those who might not know, young Jimmy, back in the 9th grade, saw an episode of a show called Naruto on Toonami. And this particular episode actually happened on a specific bridge. Some fog on this bridge. There was a bridge builder on there as well. And there was this man who appeared out of the fog with a gigantic sword. His name was Zabuba. There was a man who appeared out of the fog with his gigantic sword. His name was Zabuza Momochi, and he was ready to cut people up. And right there, as the music kicked in and it turned all rock and roll, I thought, what is this? And I was immediately hooked. Naruto was something I started binge watching way back in the day. And it's funny to me to think about how long Naruto has been in my life, over 10 years now. And how much I appreciate the show. You talk about the eponymous character of Naruto Uzumaki and how much I really despised him at the beginning. He's kind of that classic, again, shonen hero protagonist where it's like, oh my gosh, why does this kid shut up? And then later on he learns so much and he becomes very respectable and incredibly, horribly powerful. But I never really watched for Naruto. I was always more of the Uchiha kind of guy. I loved Sasuke to start off with. He got a little bit on my nerves eventually. In the beginning, he's the cool guy. He's got all the cool powers. He's got the fire and the lightning. You can do a little Chidori. Oh, wait, no, this is Dragon Flame Jutsu. No, wait, hold on. This is Chidori. Yeah, Dragon Flame Jutsu is this one. Okay. But I loved his abilities, and I loved the Sharingan, and I really enjoyed Kakashi and his kind of mentorship of Sasuke. But eventually Sasuke gets to this whole kind of I hate everyone unjustly thing. He hates Itachi, but then later on kind of figuring out that relationship. He's like, no, I'm still going to destroy the leaf. And you're like, you're such an idiot. So Itachi kind of became my favorite. And Itachi Uchiha is easily one of my favorite anime characters of all time, as you could probably guess by looking at the artwork for this show. I love Itachi Uchiha. I love a tragic hero, and I love that he's just big brother, and no matter what, he kind of put his brother before all this other crazy stuff, and I think that is just so darn cool. I really, really appreciate that about him. Itachi's abilities as well, seeing the Amaterasu, this black fire, which I never thought looked super good. I always had a different version of it in my mind. I always want to see black and purple flames as opposed to it's kind of black, kind of disjointed flames, but I digress. I love that. I love his fireballs, kind of the Sharingan mastery, and Tsukiyomi, the first time you see that, and he kind of puts Kakashi down. This is right after all the craziness of the Chunin exam. I love that. I love the Akatsuki. I think they're so cool. This is a sick group of super S-class rogue ninja who are just ready to take on the whole world, and they don't really know exactly what they're doing, but they know that they're powerful and that they're kind of sick of the norms of the world. And the inner workings of how that group works with not only Obito and Orochimaru and all this stuff in the past. Yeah, I really enjoy it. And yeah, the show goes on for a very long time, and you kind of have to pick the villains you're into the most. I think Orochimaru is one of the greatest straightforward villains of all time. He's like, I just want to get all the jutsu ever, and I don't want anyone to stop me. That's pretty great for a villain, because you get it. You understand where he's coming from, and yet it's not overly complex. He's like, I'm gonna get immortality, and I'm just gonna learn all these things. The Sharingan would really help me if I could get that, but he just can't seem to get it. He try so hard, but he just can't get it. But there are so many great arcs. I could sit here and talk about that for 20, 30, 40 minutes about each of these arcs being so cool. But again, it's the characters that really pull you through them, and kind of seeing the how they morph over time is where Neji and Lee used to be the most powerful characters, or some of the more powerful characters as the kids, and they kind of fall to the background, and there's kind of seasons for these guys. But then the Shikamaru arc, where he goes with the Inoshikacho group to go avenge Asuma. I adore that arc so much. I love Kakuzu so much. Kakuzu's sweet. Hidan's okay. I think he's kind of a one note, but Kakuzu that's my boy. Ever since seeing him jump up behind Shikamaru, and Shikamaru's on that building, and he thinks he's out of the combat basically, and then just Kaka's right behind him. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, like I love stuff like that. Naruto's got plenty of that, and the fights get so insane, so crazy just throughout the show, and they used to be a little more tactical, they used to be a little more ninja-based, which I enjoyed, but over time it just became like, who's got the biggest energy beam they could shoot at somebody else, and that's fine, you know. I do enjoy it, and Boruto, don't even start, Boruto's all over the place. Like, it's really good, but it's really bad. But, you know, Naruto into Naruto Shippuden, there's such a jump and such a drastic change between, I think, not only the characters and their abilities, but just kind of the story, because it becomes much more adult, it becomes much more, I should just say, mature, and kind of seeing these characters die for the things they believe in. Even the beginning with Shippuden, where you see Gaara basically saving a city that at one time kind of treated him like a pariah because he was like this terrifying kid and they're all scared of him. Then he becomes the Kazekage and he's like, I'm gonna die trying to save this village. And watching the Leaf Ninja work with the Sand Ninja, which they used to be kind of enemies for a bit, it's fun to see that kind of ebb and flow. And watching, you know, Sasuke's spiral into that madness, kind of fighting all the different, you know, villages out there, that's fun for a bit, but obviously at the end of the day it does come down to him and Naruto. So regardless of how you feel about the geopolitical feels of the Naruto world, it really does come down to those two every time, and their fights are some of the greatest ones in the show. Obviously, like I remember seeing that one for the first time, you know, at the Valley of the End with the two of them as kind of kids. I was never a huge fan of Sasuke's curse mark where they have like hand wings, but Black Story was sweet, and some of the animation in there got really weird. I don't know why, but it did, and that fight is brutal. And I really enjoy the Sasuke retrieval arc. It's cool to see those kids get to go out and do a little bit of work and kind of almost all die in the process. It's pretty fun. But at the same time, I think the one fight that still stands out to me to this day is Orochimaru versus the third Hokage, because that was the first time I think in the show that really represented like, oh man, this is a big fight. Like, this is nuts. Like, this guy's summoning past Hokage. You know, Hokage's summoning, you know, Enma, the Monkey King. It just gets insane. And I love the Chunin exams. I think it really crescendos at the right moment, and I love seeing just like the arena style fighting of it all as well. It's the one-on-ones, and I love that Shikamaru gets a lot of love from the third Hokage, even though you don't really hear about that until afterwards or aftermath kind of thing. And I don't know, man, there's just so many good characters. Again, I talked about Itachi. Again, I love Shikamaru. He's so good. Itachi's obviously the best. Sasuke's up there too, except when he's kind of whiny. I'm like, yeah, shut up, Sasuke. Jiraiya and the pain arc, all that stuff, so good. I love Jiraiya. And Kakashi too, kind of figuring out that his sadness and pain throughout all of that, pun intended, kind of comes back to bite him, and you know, dealing with the sins of his past and his abilities that he gained from those things. It's so cool. There's just so many complex characters in the show, and yes, it does go on for a super long time, and there's a lot of crazy like super beasts in that, like the, you know, there's the nine-tailed fox and all these other animals that people are trying to possess and make these super meteors and all this. But really, at the end of the day, it just comes down to who are your favorite characters and what are they fighting for. And I really do enjoy that so much. I think it's a show that people will look back on, and they'll look back on it fondly. And there's so many, like, unlike in Bleach, which was also another one of those that came out at the same time for me, I had a hard time remembering all the characters in Bleach, but in Naruto, I feel like each of them has got a really strong personality, and they all stand out, and they're all pretty different, not only in their abilities, but how they look, and how they act, and all of that. And I really enjoy watching that little class there kind of grow up. I wish they all got more powerful. Like, Shino used to be a powerhouse, and now he's just kind of, he's fine, you know. But I wish some of them could have been kind of skyrocketed. Like, I love, well, I can't think of his name right now. Kiba Nakamaru. I love the whole dog thing, but I also wouldn't want to put my dog, like, in a fight, so I think it's cool in concept, but maybe not execution. And they all kind of max out. Their power levels kind of, they plateau. But like Naruto and Sasuke just take off into the stratosphere. They're just like gods. Like, they can do anything, which is fine. I do have to mention Sakura. She gets much better as the show goes on. At the beginning, she's very damsel in distress, just all over Sasuke. Sasuke. But eventually, she becomes her own character, and I love that there's this kind of mimicry of the three Sannin and Jiraiya and Tsunade and Orochimaru with Naruto and with Sakura and Sasuke. But they are different enough, and I still think Tsunade is a pretty cool mentor. I think she's a cool character, but I like that it gives Sakura a little something more than just being like, I'm just the healer and I'm just worried and I wish Sasuke would come back to me, because she's actually quite a powerhouse in and of herself. Also, I would be remiss to not mention Hinata. Hinata is excellent. I think she's wonderful. It's just this, I adore her so much because she's such a wallflower, and she's just always admired Naruto, and she's loved him for so long. And she does get a few just great moments where she gets to come into the limelight, and she doesn't get forgotten, which I think could have easily happened, where they could have been like, oh, Naruto loves Sakura, and that's it. But it's like, nope, Sakura has nothing for Naruto. She's got like this kind of like, there's a friendship for sure, but it's not like a true romantic love. And I think it's cool to see that. I don't want to get into Boruto too much. It kind of frustrates me about some aspects of that show, how they kind of change the characters and how those things have progressed in not a great way. But Naruto itself and Naruto Shippuden and all that together, I think, is one of those things that it's a landmark of anime, and it looks so good. You go back, not every episode's going to look great, but there's some really, really good looking things in that show, and there's so many iconic moments and just some beautiful imagery, and so much of a pull on this Japanese folklore and myth that I think I don't know anything about, so when I hear about it, it's new to me for the first time, but you kind of read into it and you're like, oh wow, this is how that ties into that, and I really enjoy that. There's so many levels to Naruto if you're looking for it. So yeah, that's Naruto. I adore it. It's a good show. It's not my favorite of it's probably, if there's top anime of all time, it's going to be near the top. It's not always going to be at the tip top because there's just so much of it, so it's harder for me to kind of zone in on the things that I love most with like smaller anime, like you look at FMA Brotherhood or Code Geass. But I still will always love Naruto. It'll always be like my long form anime of choice, and if you can stick to those filler guides and avoid those, I recommend it, because there's a lot of filler. There's so much. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. So avoid that if you can. Stick to the good stuff, and you'll enjoy your time. But there you go. That's Anime Attack. This time for Naruto. I really enjoyed talking about it with you guys. And let me know, who's your favorite Naruto character? I want to know in the comments, or tweet it at me. I'm at JimmyGood013. If you want to support the show, consider checking us out over on Patreon. We have a Spreadshirt as well. But that's how this show keeps getting made. So thank you guys to our patrons who are already over there donating and kind of talking about their favorite anime. Because I want to get back into this show. I'm so sorry it's been gone for so long, but I'm trying to get back into it. Talk about the anime I love. If there's any anime out there that you want me to check out, let me know too, and I will do my best to get to it so I can make a video about it so we can talk about it some more. But please, I want to know your favorite characters, least favorite characters. Kabuto sucks. I hate Kabuto so much. So much. Whoa. I was healing before you even hit me with the Rasengan. I'm like, shut up. Sorry. The three Sannin fight, the great battle between the three. Woo! Alright, anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Until next time, just remember to adapt and overcome. Looks like Jimmy's getting fired up. Next time on Anime Attack, My Hero Academia. Ultra!